Imagine looking up at the night sky, those tiny pinpricks of light scattered over a vast, dark canvas, twinkling with silent promises. As a child, I often found myself staring up at the stars, feeling both incredibly small and infinitely intrigued. Each star seemed to whisper stories of distant worlds and adventures, calling out for someone like you and me to unveil their mysteries. This feeling of wonder is universal, and it has nudged humanity to dream about a future beyond our home planet. Today, let's journey together through the possibilities of humanity's future in space, where imagination and reality begin to blend in fascinating ways. Space isn't just about the stars and planets. It's a canvas of endless possibilities. Imagine being an astronaut, waking up in a space station. You float softly out of your sleeping bag, and the first thing you see is our blue planet turning slowly below. The sound of your own breathing fills your ears, audible and comforting amidst the gentle hum of machinery. This is your new normal, where gravity doesn't bind you, and the view from the office window is simply spectacular. Now, picture yourself swirling through the cabin to start a new day's work, perhaps even growing plants in the station's mini garden. The fresh smell of basil wafts through the cabin, a simple reminder of earthly comforts far away. But how did we get from merely dreaming about stars to actually living among them? It's a tale that starts with the human spirit of exploration. Think about the first time you tried something new, maybe learning to ride a bike. Remember that mix of fear and excitement? That's the essence of exploration, the drive to move from the known into the unknown. Our journey into space is much like that first ride. Humanity took its first steps with the launch of Sputnik, a tiny satellite that beeped back to Earth in 1957. It was humanity's tentative first pedal into the cosmos. Fast forward, and we've walked on the moon. That iconic moment in 1969, when Neil Armstrong took one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, still echoes in our collective consciousness. Picture that footprint on the lunar dust, a silent testament to human ingenuity and courage. Since then, we've sent robots to Mars, explored the outer reaches of our solar system, and built the International Space Station, a collaborative floating laboratory orbiting Earth. Each of these milestones is a reminder of what we can achieve when we combine curiosity with determination. Now, let's peer into the future, where the dreams of today become the realities of tomorrow. Imagine lunar bases, where people live and work on the moon's surface. The moon, with its barren landscapes, becomes a bustling hub of activity. Picture rovers digging into the lunar soil, searching for resources that can help sustain human life. It's a place where the dark, starry sky feels close enough to touch, and the earth hangs in the heavens, a distant yet ever-present home. But space isn't just about living on moons or planets, it's about the journey itself. Terraforming Mars sounds like something out of science fiction, but scientists are seriously considering it. Envision transforming the red planet into a second home, where the air is breathable and the ground fertile. The very thought stirs the imagination, doesn't it? It's the ultimate gardening project, turning a barren world into a thriving ecosystem. The future of space exploration isn't just confined to astronauts and scientists. Imagine space tourism, where ordinary people like you and me could experience the thrill of zero gravity, or take in the view of Earth from space. Consider floating in a spacecraft, gazing at the planet below. The continents and oceans blend into a stunning mosaic, and for a moment, all earthly concerns seem trivial in the grand scheme of the universe. But what's the point of all this exploration, you might ask? It's more than just adventure. It's about survival and understanding. Earth is our beautiful, fragile home, and space exploration teaches us how to care for it. By learning to live in space, we also learn to live better on Earth. For example, managing resources in space can inspire more sustainable living practices back home. Plus, the technologies developed for space often find their way into everyday life, from water purification systems to advanced medical tools. Humanity's journey into space also prompts deep reflections on who we are and why we exist. When you look up at the stars, there's a natural desire to understand our place in the universe. Are we alone? Is there life beyond Earth? These questions drive both scientific inquiry and personal wonder, pushing us to explore farther, dream bigger, and reach for the stars, quite literally. For me, the idea of our species expanding into space is like watching a story unfold, where we collectively write each chapter with discoveries and dreams. It's the ultimate adventure, filled with challenges and triumphs, and it's a journey that invites everyone to participate. Whether you're a scientist, a dreamer, or simply someone who looks up at the night sky, space holds a place for you. As we imagine this future, let's remember that the stars do not just represent distant lights in the night sky. They are beacons of hope, guiding us toward a future where the boundaries of what we can achieve are limited only by the scope of our imaginations. So the next time you find yourself staring up at the night sky, remember that those glittering stars are a reflection of our shared potential and dreams. In them, we can see the future of humanity in space, a testament to our enduring spirit of exploration and discovery. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. Keep dreaming, keep exploring, and who knows, perhaps one day one of those stars will be calling your name. As I sat gazing up at the night sky, the stars twinkling like diamonds scattered across a vast, dark canvas, I couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder about what lies beyond our planet. I remember a time, not so long ago, when the notion of humans living in space felt like science fiction. Yet here we are, standing on the brink of a new era, where space is not just a frontier to explore, but a potential home for future generations. Imagine this. You're sipping your morning coffee, but instead of the usual kitchen view, you have a window that overlooks the swirling blue and white of Earth, set against the black expanse of space. It sounds like a scene straight out of a movie, doesn't it? But it's becoming increasingly plausible with the advancements we're seeing today. One of the most exciting developments is the work being done on the International Space Station, or ISS. This incredible laboratory floating above us serves as a stepping stone for humanity's journey deeper into space. Astronauts on board are conducting experiments that help us understand how the human body adapts to living in microgravity. They grow plants, study human cells, and even test new technologies that could one day support life on other planets. Speaking of other planets, Mars has captured our imaginations like no other. I remember the first high-resolution images sent back by the Mars rovers. Seeing those dusty, reddish landscapes made the dream of setting foot on Mars feel incredibly real. Scientists and engineers are tirelessly working on making that dream come true. They are designing spacecraft and habitats where humans can live and work on Mars for months, even years at a time. It's not just governments pushing these boundaries. Companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin are revolutionizing space travel by making it more affordable and efficient. SpaceX, for instance, with its reusable rocket technology, aims to dramatically reduce the cost of launching payloads into space. This innovation is crucial because it means more frequent trips to space, opening up the possibility for commercial ventures and even space tourism. Now, I'll admit, the idea of space tourism sounds a bit far-fetched, like something only for science fiction or the ultra-rich. But the fact is, these companies are serious about making space accessible to more people. They envision a future where traveling to space becomes as commonplace as taking an international flight. But let's pause for a moment. With all this talk of moving into space, we must consider one important question. What does it mean for us? How will living in space change us, not just physically, but also as a society? It's fascinating to think about how different our customs and cultures might evolve in an off-world environment. On space missions, with limited resources and close quarters, cooperation and adaptability become vital. These experiences could teach us valuable lessons about living sustainably and harmoniously here on Earth. Another exciting prospect is the possibility of mining asteroids for resources. Some asteroids are packed with precious metals and minerals that are rare on Earth. Unlocking these resources would be like opening a new frontier for industry and innovation. It could potentially solve shortages and drive technological advancements on a scale we can barely imagine today. However, with all these grand visions, it's important to remember the challenges. Space travel is perilous. There are countless technical, ethical, and environmental considerations. For instance, how do we protect the pristine environments of other worlds from contamination? Or, how can we ensure that space remains a shared domain, free from conflicts and monopolies? These questions remind us that while our gaze is fixed on the stars, our responsibilities remain grounded. We must tread carefully, balancing exploration with stewardship. Humanity's future in space is a thrilling prospect, full of possibilities. But as we reach for the heavens, we must carry with us the lessons learned from Earth about respect, cooperation, and ethical expansion. As I wrap up my thoughts today, my hope is that this journey into space will bring us closer together as a global community, that it will inspire us to dream bigger, work harder, and look after each other and our planet a little more thoughtfully. Because after all, whether we're on Earth or floating somewhere in the cosmos, we're all part of the same remarkable adventure, humanity's adventure. And with that reflection, let's continue to explore, to learn, and to dream. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. Until next time, keep looking up.